What if I told you that the key to handling the storms of life, those moments that literally break your heart into a gazillion pieces, or maybe those situations that have you think you're about to catch a case? What if I told you that the key to moving through those situations gracefully lies in 5 simple yet powerful steps? Today, your girl is going to walk you through it. What's good, party people? It's your girl, Candia, your personal hype woman on a mission, helping you show up and speak up anyway, despite dealing with fear, uncertainty, or self-doubt. So here's the thing. When we think about those storms in life, it's not a matter of if it happens, it's a matter of when. Stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. I think Will Smith said that. But anywho, it wasn't Candia, okay? I'm just repeating what I heard. But anyway, the number one step that you have to embrace is simple yet difficult. It's to honor your pause. And when we honor our pause, I always tell people this: a pause could be 5 seconds, 5 minutes, 5 days. Take what you need. When you honor your pause, it's just simply not about taking a breather. It's about pausing before you speak, pausing before you judge, pausing before you react to some of your emotions and thoughts that are circling around in your mind at the moment. Okay? Because trust me on this small act of a pause can save you from a world of regret. There are a whole lot of people right now, including myself at one point in time. But listen, we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about you. A whole lot of people are walking around doing a walk of shame. Why? Because they didn't honor their pause. Okay, so the very first step we want to do is honor our pause. Our second step is to take a deep breath, to tune into your emotions. Deep breathing allows you to really feel what's going on inside at the moment, because that initial feeling is typically the spark that sets off a chain of thoughts and assumptions. And next thing you know, you done built a story around something that may or may not be true. So we have to get a hold of our thoughts. And the way that we do that is we take a deep breath so you can ground yourself in the present moment. So you can create some distance between your thoughts and in reality. And also, for me, there are 2 breathing techniques that are typically my go-to. The 4-4-4 breathing technique, where we inhale, the count of 4 seconds, hold your breath for another 4 seconds, and then exhale for 4 seconds. And you really want to go through a cycle, maybe 2 to 3 cycles of the 4-4-4 breathing technique to center you in the present moment. Another breathing technique that I love is 4-7-8. You inhale for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 7 seconds, and then you exhale for 8 seconds. I did this breathing technique. Well, we did the 4-4-4 with my leaders the other day, and they absolutely loved it. One of my leaders in my workshop session said, Candia, I need to do this at least 3 to 4 times a day. And it's true. Think about before you need to have a difficult conversation with someone, take a deep breath, several deep breaths. Before you need to give constructive criticism, before you respond to that passive aggressive email, honor your pause, take a couple of deep breaths. Okay, because listen, remember that walk of shame. We don't want to do the walk of shame. Okay, so we want to honor our pause and take a deep breath. And giving yourself permission to pause and take a deep breath is incredibly important, because here's what I want you to understand about your emotions. Think of our emotions like those filters that we like to use on the YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook streets, TikTok, or whatever your social media drug of choice is. Our emotions can throw a filter on how we see things, affecting our judgment, our words, and our actions. So just like you choose your outfit every day, the reality is you can choose the energy that you decide to bring into a conversation. You can choose your words wisely. Now, I want to make sure that I'm clear on this. While you may not be able to control the thoughts that you have at the moment, you can control your reaction to those thoughts. And that's why it's important that we move on into step 3, which is to evaluate your thoughts. Because the reality is, just because you think it, it doesn't mean it's true. Just because you think it's true, it doesn't mean it needs to be said. Let me rewind that back and say it again, because Coming close, coming close. Just because you think it, it doesn't mean it's true. Just because you think it's true, it doesn't mean it needs to be said. So you have to ask yourself some questions. How might these thoughts affect my presence or my interactions with others? And be honest. Will these thoughts help me or hinder me in this conversation? Will acting on these thoughts take me further away from that place that I want to be next year this time? Or will it bring me closer? In that moment, again, we may not be able to control our thoughts, but we can control our reaction to those thoughts. This level of self-awareness is your secret weapon to making a well-informed decision about how you want to show up. And I'm gonna tell you something. When we think about evaluating our thoughts, one of the reasons why I always encourage people to question your thoughts is because oftentimes questions are your bridge to clarity, connection, confidence, and calm. First, you have to get connected with yourself. You get connected with yourself by asking yourself some questions. What am I feeling? Is this thought going to help me or hinder me? Okay, that's your connection. You can get calm by simply challenging your assumptions. How do I know what I'm thinking is true? It's a whole evaluation session you got going on with yourself. Many of us try to evaluate other people's behavior when the reality is we have to evaluate ourselves first. I always share with my leaders, effective leadership starts with self-leadership. Oftentimes, we want to fix or understand other people when the first person that you need to understand and gain clarity on first is yourself. It's not about communicating effectively with other people. It's often about communicating effectively with ourselves. So now that we've evaluated our thoughts, we're going to move on over to reframing. When we reframing comes down to your ability to shift perspective, to see things from another person's perspective, to look at things or situations from different angles. And so essentially, it's like you're putting on a different pair of glasses to look at the situation differently. It's like changing the channel in your mind to see things from a new angle. So when we create an opportunity for ourselves to do this, what we can essentially do is turn a challenge into opportunity. When we allow ourselves to do this, we can approach conversations in a way where we're seeking to understand before being understood. And when we think about reframing, one of the most important things that you can do is to make a habit of asking yourself, how can I show up in a way that's non-reactive, not driven by my immediate emotions? How can I show up in a way that is solution focused? And most importantly, how can I show up in a way that honors my values, that honors my boundaries? So listen, party people, honor your pause, take a deep breath, learn to evaluate your thoughts by questioning them, and learn to reframe your perspective. Which one of those tips resonated most with you?